it's Jenny again. I have time for a quick video before work again. And today I was listening to a good reminder of a sermon regarding how condemnation kills, what the Spirit gives life. I think that many of us have grown up in environments where there's a lot of expectations, or someone above us has been super critical or condemning. And the world is just kind of like that, even if you haven't grown up directly influenced by that. Just where you work, in school, like there's always a spirit around that. It can be the opposite of love and can be just super condemning and critical. And after a while, being around that or raised by that, it becomes your internal voice. Just that there's a lot of guilt, condemnation, shame for not being good enough, a lot of performance and striving. Like depression because of that, anxiety, worry. Um, that's like the voice of the devil. The devil's the accuser of the brethren. He's the accuser. And he tempted Adam and Eve to eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, even, which instead of the tree of life. And, when we try to, on our own, put ourselves under the law in some ways of just trying to do good, we end up doing wrong, and there's so much condemnation. So I believe what the scripture says, that Jesus' answer to that is, to that spirit, to that condemnation. He said that the ministry of condemnation is the ministry of death. And the law was given as the ministry of condemnation, which for a time given to the Jewish people had a purpose, kind of, I would say, to get them in a position to receive grace and Jesus' sacrifice. Just the law brings you kind of to the end of yourself, and realizing that you can't fulfill it on your own strength. You can't do it. You're always coming short. And so where condemnation is just always death and guilt, and just not joy and peace, but the Spirit gives life, the Spirit of God, who lives in us after we receive Jesus, this free gift, because that he fulfilled the law on our behalf perfectly. Nobody else could. So that we can live by Jesus' life in us, and having the fruit of the Spirit of grace is love and joy and peace. And the law never could produce those things. It was only producing death and condemnation and shame, and just feeling defeated and not good enough. So just the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ is that when you receive God's free gift to us, and because of his perfect performance for us on the cross, that life takes away the guilt and condemnation, because he became our sin. One sacrifice for sin forever, the book of Hebrews says. And he bore our shame, and he took our condemnation for us. So as a believer, this is good news, and it produces life and fruits of the Spirit. Love. We love Jesus because he first loved us and gave himself for us. Love and joy and peace only comes through the ministry of life of the Spirit. The Spirit bearing witness in our hearts that we are forgiven, and that Jesus did take our sin and the condemnation that goes along with it, and the guilt and the shame. And it's only when we receive that and get that revelation can we start living in victory, and even victory over sin, just as fruit, not even as a striving. So that is just such good news, and I hope that people continue to receive that and receive the revelation of that. And I feel like the book of Romans and Galatians especially expound on that particular aspect of the gospel. But be blessed today. Thank you.